This is from All the Broken Places. Mother and I escaped Germany in early 1946, only a few months after the war ended, travelling by train from what was left of Berlin to what was left of Paris. 15 years old and knowing little of life, I was still coming to terms with the fact that the Axis had been defeated. Father had spoken with such confidence of the genetic superiority of our race and of the Führer's incomparable skills as a military strategist that victory had always seemed assured. And yet, somehow, we had lost. The journey of almost 700 miles across the continent did little to encourage optimism for the future. The cities we passed through were marked by the destruction of recent years, while the faces of the people I saw in the stations and carriages were not cheered by the end of the war, but scarred by its effects. There was a sense of exhaustion everywhere, a growing realisation that Europe could not return to how it had been in 1938, but needed to be rebuilt entirely, as did the spirits of its inhabitants. The city of my birth had been almost entirely reduced to rubble, its spoils divided between 4 of our conquerors. For our protection, we remained hidden in the basements of those few true believers whose homes were still standing until we could be provided with the false papers that would ensure our safe removal from Germany. Our passports now bore the surname of Gaimar, the pronunciation of which I practiced repeatedly in order to ensure that I sounded as authentic as possible. But while Mother was now to be called Natalie, I remained Gretel. Every day, fresh details of what had taken place at the camps came to light, and Father's name was becoming a byword for criminality of the most heinous nature. While no one suggested that we were as culpable as him, Mother believed it would be a disaster for us to reveal ourselves to the authorities. I agreed, for, like her, I was frightened, although it shocked me to think that anyone could consider me complicit in the atrocities. When we arrived at that other place, I had only gone beyond the fence once, on that single day that Father had brought me into the camp to observe his work. I tried to tell myself I had been a bystander, nothing more, and that my conscience was clear. But already I was beginning to question my own involvement in the events that I had witnessed.